Chapter number 10, Historic Period. Good morning, students. So today we are going to take new topic, that is chapter number 10, Historic Period. And this is the last topic of your second semester. So with this we are going to finish our portion of EVS 2 subject. Okay, so points here we are going to discuss is about the culture. What is culture? Then ancient civilization in river valleys. Ancient riverine civilization of Mesopotamia, Egypt, China and Harappa. And sports and entertainment. So we are going to discuss this point. So what is culture? We have seen in lesson 2 that written records are available in the form of inscription, manuscript, book, etc. Written records of historic period. They are in the form of inscription, manuscript and book. Okay, so in all ancient civilization, the art of writing was developed and they used fully developed script. In other words, with the rise of ancient civilization, the new Stone Age came to an end. And it started the beginning of historic period. And all other animals are dependent on their environment to satisfy their need. Okay, if we take an example of animal, bear lives in cave. What about monkey? He stays on the tree. Okay. So they are not building their special shelter. Whatever shelter has been provided by the nature, they stays in that. But what about human? Human build house. That means human is the person one who is making changes in the environment. Next point is about the food. Yes, what about the animals? They eat directly. Okay, they eat directly. They are not cooking and making food tasty and eating. These animals, they directly take food from the environment and they satisfy their hunger. But what about human being? Human being, he will prepare fire, then he will cook food, then he will put masala, he will roast it and then he will have. So, the way of eating is also different in case of human being. They process many substances in the similar manner. They work on stone, metal to make tools and various objects. Yes, what about animals? They never make such type of tools. Okay. Then they make pots, bricks and many other things from clay. They obtain yarn from cotton and weave clothes from the yarn. ठीक है? Different clothes we human being wear. Okay, human being wear different types of clothes. So they have got an idea that yarn is obtained from cotton and from that we can make clothes. But what about the animals? Animal hair on the skin is the cloth. So they don't go for wearing clothes like human being. Okay. So in short, according to their needs, they change the form of material available in nature. They need skill to do this. They need to think and plan before they shape any object. बराबर है, ह्यूमन बीइंग को पहले सोचना पड़ता है कि कैसे किया जाए, and then he will go for it. Then they have to put an efforts to actually shape it. The tradition of thought and skill and effort give rise to various arts. Every generation handed over the knowledge of art, skill and tradition to the next generation. अगर मुझे कुछ आता है तो मैं मेरे next generation को बता दूँगी. So this trade has been carried out from generation to generation. With this exchange of thought and idea, लैंग्वेज वॉज एनरिच। ठीक है, अगर मैं कुछ किसी को सिखा रही हूँ तो नेचुरल लैंग्वेज चाहिए, बिना लैंग्वेज के तो मैं सिखा नहीं सकती, राइट? सो लैंग्वेज स्टार्टेड डेवलपिंग, वर्ड स्टार्टेड डेवलपिंग, देन the knowledge of various arts, skill, and tradition inherits from generation to generation, and the way of life found on that knowledge is said to be a culture. उसी को कल्चर कहते हैं। ठीक है, अब हम आगे बढ़ेंगे। Ancient civilization in river. So which is the ancient civilization in river? Culture which flourished in the new Stone Age were based on the agriculture way of life. Fertile soil, constant water supply, these are the essential things for the growth of crops. Fertile soil and constant water supply are essential for growth of crops. Okay? So mostly जो है settlements कहाँ पाए जाते थे? रिवर वैलीज के पास में। क्यों? क्योंकि वहाँ पर पानी था, फर्टाइल लैंड था, फर्टाइल लैंड एंड अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ वाटर वाज देयर, दैट इज व्हाई large amount of settlements or civilization has been found nearby the river or in the river valleys. Okay, so naturally peoples in New Stone Age established their village settlements on the banks of the river. The New Stone Age culture flourished along the river bank. Turn the page. In the course of time, New Stone Age culture gave rise to earlier civilization. Increase in production due to various skill, the use of wheel, flourishing trade, use of well-developed script, etc. are the major factors responsible for the rise in early civilization. Okay, so in sub, that is use of wheel, flourishing trade, development of script, it lead to civilization. Okay, so this civilization came into existence in roughly the same period, that is around 3000 BC, in 4 regions. Which are the 4 regions? First, Mesopotamia, Egypt, China, and Indian subcontinent. Mesopotamia, Egypt, China, and Indian subcontinent, the civilization flourished. Okay, so civilization in these 4 regions developed in river valleys. Hence, they are said to be riverine civilization. तो कहाँ civilization develop हुए? लोग कहाँ रहने लगे? नदी के पास में, तो वहीं पर civilized हो गए, वहीं पे रहने लगे। ट्रेड, कल्चर, ट्रांसपोर्ट जो भी है वहीं पे उनका चलने लग गया। सो दैट इज रिवराइन सिविलाइजेशन, रिवर के पास में जो भी है सेटल लाइफ है। ओके, इट्स नो रिवराइन सिविलाइजेशन, द सिविलाइजेशन डेवलप्ड इन रिवर वैलीज। मेसोपोटामिया, Egypt, the Indian subcontinent, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Ancient civilization, China. Now first we are going to see about Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is the name of the region and not of any particular country. It means that land between 2 rivers. The given map shows the 2 rivers, Tigris and Euphrates. ये एक ऐसा एरिया है, 2 नदियों के बीच में जो ज़मीन है वो है मेसोपोटामिया। ओके, मेसोपोटामिया मीन्स land between 2 rivers. Ancient Mesopotamia had the land between 2 rivers named as Tigris and Euphrates. Ancient Mesopotamia had great cities like Ar, Arak and Nippur. Egypt. The river Nile flows through the eastern part of Sahara Desert. In the north of Africa, one of the ancient civilization flourished along its bank, and it is the Egyptian civilization. The following map shows the Egyptian civilization near Nile River. Students, here Egypt civilization has been flourished on the bank of river Nile. So every year this Nile river get flooded, and when it get flooded, it brings the area around the bank become fertile. Okay, and it is very much suitable for agriculture. Yes, so ancient Egyptian used to build small embankment on the river to store the flood water. After the soil in the flood, water settled to the bottom and water was used for the irrigation. Okay, so वो पानी वो क्या करते थे, irrigation के लिए यूज करते थे. Next, we are going to start with China. Ancient civilization of China near Huanghe River. China. Ancient civilization of China developed and flourished in the valley of Huanghe River. According to the Chinese tradition, a king named Huangdi introduced agriculture, animal husbandry, wheel cart and chariot, boat and clothing in China. Chinese people believe that his queen invented the technique of his queen, मतलब जो उनकी रानी है, okay, his queen have invented the technique of silk production. Silk production, understood ना? Silk बनाना. Silk किससे बनता है? Silkworm से. So production of silk and silk dye has been invented by his queen. किसकी queen? किसकी रानी? Huangdi की. Okay. Next, Luoyang, Beijing and Chang and were among the important cities of ancient China. Let's know important cities of China. That is Luoyang, Beijing and Chang. Okay, students. So what have we learned from ancient civilization of China? That is, it has been flourished in the valley of Huanghe River, and the name of the king is Huangdi. Okay, and he has introduced agriculture, animal husbandry, wheel carts and chariot, boat and clothing in China. Okay, and his queen has invented the technique of production of silk. Students, we are going to see about Indian subcontinent. The civilization which has developed on Indian subcontinent are Harappan civilization and Mohenjo-daro civilization. You can see the picture over here, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Harappan civilization well. Seals of Harappa. These are the pots and the great bath of Mohenjo-daro. Ornaments in Harappan civilization. A specimen of Harappan art. These are the toys, that is Harappan toys. And this is the dockyard at Lothal. Okay, so Harappa civilization has been flourished in the Indus Valley. Okay, Indus is the English word for the name Sindhu. Harappa in Punjab and Mohenjo-daro in Sindh are the two sides of Harappa civilization. Next, we are going to see about Harappa. Earlier civilization on Indian subcontinent is known as Harappa civilization. So, we are going to see the civilizations of India. So, here Harappa civilization is Indian civilization. Okay, it has been flourished in Indus Valley. Okay, Indus in the English word for the name of सिंधु. ठीक है, सिंधु नदी हम बोलते हैं हिंदी में, बराबर, बट इंडस रिवर जो है वो इंग्लिश नेम है, राइट. Indus is the English word for the name Sindhu. Harappa in Punjab and Mohenjo-daro in Sindh are the two sites of Harappa civilization to be discovered first. Now they are in Pakistan. अब वो कहाँ पर है? पाकिस्तान में. Lothal and Dholavira in Gujarat, Kalibanga in Rajasthan are among the famous sites of Harappa civilization in India. Cities of this civilization are well known for their systematic town planning. Why they were well known? Because town planning was very much systematic, which Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Okay. Then the houses were built in block created by parallel road that crossed each other at right angle. There were bathrooms and latrines in every house and covered drainage system, which indicates a concern for a public hygiene. They were carefully constructed private and public wells. प्राइवेट वेल भी थे और पब्लिक वेल्स भी थे जिससे वो ड्रिंकिंग वाटर ले सकते हैं. ओके. द सिटीज वर डिवाइडेड इनटू 2 or 4 पार्ट्स. Characteristic earthen pots of the Harappan and well baked red in color with the beautiful design like people leaves and fish scale. These are the Harappan pots discovered during excavation. When tapped, these pots produce a metallic sound. तो जब उसे हम टैप करते हैं पॉट पर तो जिस तरह से कैसे मेटल में से आवाज़ निकलती है उस तरह का आवाज़ निकलता था टैप करने पे. ओके. द हड़प्पा क्राफ्टमेंस वेर हाईली स्किल्ड इन मेकिंग ब्रोंज ऑब्जेक्ट and beads from the semi-precious stones of various colors. These things were in great demand in Mesopotamia. In those days also, the trade has been established in such manner between India and the other countries. Okay, so these things were in great demand in Mesopotamia. The name of Harappa and goddess and goddess. The name of Harappa gods and goddess are not yet known. Yes? However, we know with the help of the Harappan seal and clay figurines that they worship Pashupati. They worship Pashupati. उस पशुपति को मानते थे. Okay. So, Lord of all living animals, that is Pashupati and Mother Goddess. Next, we are going to see about the sports. Peoples were interested in sports and how do they spend their time. There were a variety of sports and means of entertainment in the ancient civilization. Hunting and wrestling. शिकार करना और wrestle आपको पता ही है क्या है. So hunting and wrestling were the important one. Here is a picture of king hunting a lion. Wrestling between two people. This is the picture of game board. Game played with the help of game board, game men were also the popular among us. Flute, a musical instrument. Black. These are the Harappan toils. This is Crayamble. This is drum. And this is King Pharaoh. These are the statue of the King Pharaoh. Music and dance were also very important in early civilization. They were an essential part of celebrating a festival. Ancient people used many types of musical instruments. In Mesopotamia, a string instrument known as balag was very popular. Beside instruments like tremble, rattle, flutes, drum, etc. were also played. The Egyptian king were known as pharaoh. On the occasion of certain festival, the pharaoh himself used to participate in the celebration and dance. राजा जो खुद पार्टिसिपेट करता था डांस में, खुद डांस करता था पीपल्स के साथ. द ब्रोंज इमेज ऑफ अ डांसर found in the excavation of Mohenjo-daro is evidence that dance was important in the Harappan civilization as well. Till now, we have learned in brief about history of civilization from Till now, we have learned in brief about history of civilization from the Stone Age to early civilization. Next year, we shall study in detail the Harappan civilization that developed in Indian subcontinent. We shall also study the ancient history of India. So students, with this I am finishing the topic. Okay. So here some information is given about the balag and musical instrument made of gold named as balag found in the excavation at the city of Ur, a Mesopotamian site. The balag has 11 string. 11 string होती थी, धागे लगे हुए रहते थे. Its height is approximately 2.1 meter. It dates back to about 2650 BC. It was found in the burial of Mesopotamian queen. Her name is Pobi. Okay, so Pobi is the name of the Mesopotamian queen. Yes, so students, with this I am finishing off the lesson. Next we have to go with our assignment. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can contact me directly on the WhatsApp group. Have a nice day, students.